Hi everybody, and welcome to this week's video. My name's Rebecca, of Artist Rebecca LS. This is the channel where we have fun with art. And today is a sketchbook tour. Let's go! Okay guys, so it's going to be a lot of ranting, moaning in this one. It is the Canson Graduate Mixed Media Sketchbook. And if you are a regular viewer of my channel, you will know that I have not gotten on with this sketchbook at all. I would say it's within my top 5 of worst sketchbooks. Not because I don't understand how to use it, but because the quality is bad and it's aimed at students, and that annoys me. So it's 65 pages, it's A5, and it's 220, all of the graduate range of paper is 220 GSM, even the watercolor paper. Now, to start with, the watercolor paper as a universal standard should be 300 GSM. That's your baseline to do watercolor. And then you go up. Anything below, please disregard as suitable for watercolor, because you're not going to get a true effect. So, back to the mixed media. It's very solid cover, and you get an elastic band. It is engraved on the back with their name, Canson. They are a French company, and that disappoints me. I live in France. I do expect better quality from the French company because I do like their sea grain paper, but it's not good, none of it, for watercolor. And the Monteval range is really too expensive for what it is. So back to this. I always get distracted. Now, the band on these sketchbooks I do like because they go up and down and not across, if you see what I mean. They're portrait, not landscape, these advertising banners. So it means you can keep them on so that you know what the sketchbook is. Not that I'd ever forget what it is. The Royal Talon ones go across, which means I have to cut them and glue them because I like to keep the banner so that I know what the sketchbook is. Then you open it up and you can put your name and your phone number at the top. Then, by the way, forgot to mention, this sketchbook is supposed to lay flat and it's 180-degree opening. So, first page, this is stuck. So then this first page is stuck. And you'd have to, this paper, because it's very thick and rigid, you're going to need strong tape. And I mentioned this in my other video about it. It's much more feisty than the watercolor paper. So a lot of tape is not going to cope. It will ping back up. If you use clips, that's good. But for me, I don't, because they impede being able to use the whole page. And I like to use all of the page, not have a border around, unless I'm selling my work and I'm on loose sheets. But in a sketchbook, I use all of the page. So primarily, I use this for kind of intuitive art and couldn't care less kind of art because I wanted to fill the sketchbook up and get rid of it as soon as possible. Unheard of that there are some blank pages because I completely lost interest. You cannot build up many layers in this sketchbook, but even the neo colors were having trouble. Usually when you let things dry, you can then build up, but I was getting a resistant feeling with this. So this is from the 6th of January, which is probably when I started. And then I was having a go again. The flowers are the Liquitex chunky acrylic marker. And the rest is Neocolor, except I think I did a video about this and I shared on Instagram. It's reminding me now. This texture underneath the pink flowers is Inktense. That's what it is. And it left this nasty, powdery effect. Now, if you like texture, then that's good. And I like texture, but only where I want it to be. And normally, Inktense doesn't create, it's reactive, there's this, it doesn't want to go into the paper, it's kind of merged with whatever is sat on the surface. I don't know if it's buffed with calcium or whatever, it's mixed with it, and it's just, it's not nice. It's just, ugh, so that put me off. Then I had a go at doing pure watercolour. And it did cope. It started curling a lot, but it's not bad. But you're not going to get a real watercolour effect. It's more sketchy. Yep, I had a go with my Scavigliata. It's not so bad. The watercolours worked better, but the other thing is with the watercolour, you've got to be precise where you put it, because as you can see, you can't move it once you put it down. So you can't use your watercolour markers or anything like that. Marks will stay where you put them. And I used acrylic for the castle, acrylic paint pen. And then, what is this? I'm thinking it's a mix of Neocolor, some coloured pencil. I was trying a bunch of everything, actually. This Scavigliata, I deliberately, and I may have shared it with you guys, I did it too heavy with the Conte. And so I needed to put a load of water on it to fix it. And I was showing how much water the page would cope with. And it kind of did. Let me just see if I've done enough. Yeah, I did do enough. Nothing's coming off on my hand. So that's good. But we've got a lot of kind of warping. Then we're back to Neocolors. And this was where I was getting a huge amount of resisting. It's just, it copes with maybe 2 layers, possibly 3, if you're lucky, of the Neocolors. And this was done on the 5th of January. The watercolors came out cleaner, if that makes sense, more crisper. But you have to put a lot of water down and compete with the curling and lifting of the page. So then this over here, I was cleaning off my brush and I just turned that into like a bunch of, I don't know, hydrangeas or something. Anyway, that was on the 6th of January. And then I've done a basic boat scene, watercolors again, because they were working. And a bit of pen work. I was probably cleaning the brush here. And probably things went wrong. And I was like, whatever. That was on the 6th as well. And then, what is this? This is on the 6th as well. I was obviously doing some dramatic, is how I was feeling with the sketchbook. All doom and lightning and thunder. But then the bird, I think this came from intuitive art. And so that was pleasing. Different characters were coming. And then obviously I decided to burn the sketchbook at this stage because I created a load of flaming fire and was probably using this page to clean my brush, I suspect. And I didn't put anything on it because fire. So then I was cleaning the brush here from creating this artwork. Now this is gouache. This came out okay. But again, it's very heavy. And I've put pink at the background. So that's coming through. I was testing different effects. So though I don't like the sketchbook at all, because I don't like it, it was making me do more experiments to see what it could cope with. So I obviously did a acrylic background, and it could be acrylic gouache, and I then did the gouache over the top with some neo colours, pencil, I feel. And over here, as I say, was cleaning the brush, and then I could see some grass and shadow and purpleness. And that was on the 7th. So then, what date is this? On the 8th, we have got some mountains and flowers, and it's watercolour. Over here, I gave up because it just wasn't working. And then, again, this was not working. I did, this page on the left is cleaning my brush from the page on the right. And I've got a bit of a wispy faintness of a tree coming up here from the looks of it. But there's a house on the hill, an orange hill, kind of like a burning sunset, and the grass with some flowers. I haven't dated it, so not sure. Possibly could be every day, because this next page has a date of the 9th. So it could have been the 8th. I was almost every day using this particular sketchbook to try and get shut of it as quick as possible. So then I did panels of apples and did different backgrounds for those apples, and that's watercolour. And then I did another scapigliata using the Conte, and that came out okay. Then I was just doing random doodles on the left here, and then some kind of rickety mountains, just anything that was coming to fill it up. And then I did, I think I put this paper in because this was going to smudge. Yes, now I think I was watching Art with Heather, the YouTube channel, and one of her warm-up sessions was doing different windows. And so that's what I was trying to do. I thought, brilliant, I will fill up the sketchbook with another page and it will be windows. And then over here was green, kind of testing out water brushes that I'd got, I suspect, and doing different marks in green. Oh, put that back because trying to keep that clean. Then I've done trees, because I like trees. And I was doing different ways of doing tree. So this is Neocolour, just scribbling. And this is just watercolour with the brush. So it's created two different texture effects. That was on the 9th as well. And these are on the 9th. And so windows again in panel form. And then a variety of flowers using the brushes I got are in different shapes. So that's why I've done this. You can see there's quite a thick width straight line brush, if you see what I mean. And then there are smaller liner brushes. So I was just seeing what they would look like if I was doing flowers. More scapigliatas. Pink, because my pot of pink, it's 50 mils of Royal Talons gouache turned up. And I think I showed it or shared it on social media. It is such a cute pot. I got it for the pot. It's a glass jar of gouache. I mean, it's brilliant. So I was just testing it in here, and it filled up a page. So then I also used that to do background and some apple here. Then I had a go at doing some fruit slices on the right, and this is all on the 11th. And I think I was having a go up here, the background. I was trying to use the kids' fibre tip pens. So in the United Kingdom, we call them felt tips. But the rest of the world will call them fibre tip pens. Basically, water-based pens. I like being able to put those down and add water. You can't do it in this sketchbook, hence why it's just like that. The Harnemul Bamboo sketchbook, you can do that in, which is amazing. Now, the next page, I don't think I've dated it. We've got more trees and grass, flower things, another landscape, basically. Now, this one was interesting. Instead of a close-up landscape, I've done it at a distance. And I've used that gouache again. And I think this is all gouache, but the pink Royal Talons one was very nice. And a little house peeking out from the back of the hills. And this page on the right is just me cleaning up the brush from the opposite page. Then this is a scapigliata. I obviously did in gouache or watercolour. It could be gouache. And then I've done some Christian themes on the right. I tend to do this for Easter, and I was just doing some panelling ideas for that. Then we're back to the Neo colours, and I've done my sailboat scene on the river with the hedges and the fields over there, but it was meeting a lot of resistance. And I've done the sailboat again. We did this in gouache this time, and it covered the page better. And again, over here, I was cleaning the brush a lot. But I don't think I dated this. And now I used pencil to show art graph, I think. I've done a video about that. The water-soluble graphite, that works in here well. And then the opposite page is just me cleaning my brush. And then here I got some ink and the water brush, sepia ink that I put in my fountain pen, and it's water resistant. So that was okay in here. But again, remember, where you put the mark is where the mark will stay. Then I did a lemon in gouache on the 21st of January. And I just left it like that. And then I did intuitive art, and a hedgehog came out of it. And then on the opposite page, I had a go at doing some leaves in ballpoint pen, but I was losing interest. And then this, I did do a video showing about coloured pencil. That coloured pencil does work. But again, you've got texture. It's going to take time. I'm not a coloured pencil artist. I rarely have the time to spend or interest on doing coloured pencils. I like to use them at the end because just doing very small circular motions would drive me up the wall. I am really impressed with people that do that and can do really good work with the coloured pencils. For me, I will always get a lot of this white. And you can use blenders. I don't like zest it because it smells. Sometimes I've used baby oil or something, but again, the grease seeps through paper. It's not something I really want to do, but I was showing that the coloured pencils do work even on this slight textured surface. And so that was that. And then this page is blank because I gave up. And that one is pointless to do, really, because you've got this paper that is kind of stuck. You can kind of do that, but then this tips up. And that is the end of the sketchbook. I forgot to mention you do get a ribbon and possibly a pocket. I can't remember. Let me see. Yeah, you get a pocket. So if you go to the museums, you can put your ticket stubs and any leaflets in there. It was finished at some point, early February 2025. And it's about the 7th or 8th today. So this is when I have finished it. So guys, with that said, that's the end of the sketchbook tour. And no, I won't be buying one again. I hope you have found this useful. Don't forget to please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Subscribing is to follow. It's free to follow me on YouTube, and it helps the algorithm, as in YouTube, to know that you found me interesting, and they'll promote my channel to more people. Thank you ever so much, everybody. I'll catch you really soon on the next video.